Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings here in Mendham. Kind of a special edition. Just happened to be the 10-year anniversary of the Inmendham channel. And just happened to have Inmendham here as a guest. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, okay. The camera's going to keep moving, so that's not going to work. Stop it. Alright, so... yes, it's traditional Inmendham video in that it will suck in terms of some elements. Yes, like technology and such. Anyway, who's interviewing who? I don't really think it matters. No, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, well, 10 years. 10 years on YouTube. Kind of an amazing thing, 10 years. I don't know. Something's going to happen, right? Could have been 5 years, could have been 7. Could have killed at any point anywhere. Could be, I could go for another 3 years and it could be 13 years. What's the difference? Doesn't mean anything. True. It doesn't really mean anything. The round number thing is just, arbitrary. Why do we care? Because we have this, whatever, 10 decimal kind of math. Yes, so it's just completely meaningless, this anniversary thing. It doesn't mean anything. So, anyway, yeah, so I guess that's kind of old Mendham, right? Just be a cynical prick and take all the fun out of everything. Yeah, well, because everything is not really fun, and everybody wants to think there's fun, and it's all fun, the animals eat each other, and this happens, and people do all no, it's not fun. So that really has been your theme for 10 years. It's just people are having too much fun and life isn't fun. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, I think. You got to take it seriously. It's serious business being conscious and interfering with everything and influencing and affecting. It's all very serious business. Nobody should be doing this. Everybody's, not qualified, like Trump. You're just not qualified to be alive. Not qualified to be alive. Well, I don't think you ever had a video titled "Not Qualified to Be Alive," but yeah, I can see that there is this theme over the years that has leached out of you in terms of basically saying just that. You're all unqualified assholes, and you really shouldn't be alive because you don't know how to do it well enough. Yeah, that's the whole problem. We're not serious enough. We're not like Star Trek enough. We're not, we're just not taking the complete ethical and logical responsibility for what's at stake here, which is untold amounts of torture. Ooh, that torture word. That's not a real big winner. So it has to be conceded that you've been on YouTube for 10 years and you only have 10,000 subscribers, which is, 1.5 subscribers or whatever. Well, 3 subscribers a year per day. You don't do math very well, do you? Well, apparently sometimes I don't do math very well. But yes, there's 3 subscribers per day and for 10 years, right? And that's it. So you're not very popular. Yeah, well, who says popularity means anything? The popularity people, which seems to be everybody, right? I mean, that's Google and Facebook and everything that people endorse and embrace. Even Donald Trump. I'm very popular. That's all that matters. People like me. Yeah, it is just pitiful. It's disgusting. That's just more the reason why people are just so unqualified. Is they can't measure the value of anything in any real terms. They just care that it's shiny and it's all glitter and fluff and just has nothing, substance doesn't have anything to do with any conversation about anything. Oh, there you go again, being all negative and unpleasant. You just can't win with that strategy, You have to say nice things to the fat, round people. Like what? They have a micro penis and stuff like that. I mean, what do you say nice to these people? These blobs of gas. Well, you can say something nice like love your hair or the fabulous hats are, oh, just that color's fantastic. Well, I'd rather just blow my brains out than have to do that. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. All right, then, be a failure. What do I care? You're right, it's only my fate that's held in your stupid, incompetent hands. No, they're incompetent. We're competent. They're incompetent. You just don't, you can't follow along. You know, they're stupid. We're smart. Yeah, so this whole smart thing keeps coming up. What, you think you're smart? No, I'm just more logical. I mean, I'm less unsmart. I have less stupid notions in my head, and therefore I'm not stupid. See, some people think stupid is being ignorant, but stupid is really being misinformed or ill-informed, or, you know, you think wrong. So it's not so much being dumb, like I don't know how. It's being, I think I know how, but you don't know how the right way. Ah, I see, like Homer Simpson or something. You know, I work at I'm a nuclear technologist, but, you know, doesn't know anything about nuclear or anything, you know. Yes, well, that's not a perfect example, but that's the kind of idea. It's just a lot of people with really wrong notions in their head, not unnotions. Ignorance is not really a threat, in only in the sense that if it's replaced with something, the void or the vacuum is replaced with nonsense like gods and silly singularity theories, and everything will be all right, and silver lining mush, and Pyrrhoisms, generally speaking. Ah, you mean pyro. No, he wants to be called Pyrrho after some long dead retard. Ah, there's a lot of that going around. You know, people like to be somebody who's dead. You know, they channel or something. It's, you know, everybody wants to be Cleopatra for some reason. Yeah, it didn't seem like she had all that much of a win life. I don't know why it's so, everybody thinks it's so cool. No, I don't get it. Einstein wanted to be a plumber. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's just one of those whole lame-o things. Like, you know, I would argue, you know, I've been doing this physics thing, that Einstein was, you know, wrong. You know, good guesses, but they're just bad. They're guesses, and, you know, they're just shit. Once you really analyze them, it's a garbage answer. Yes, the whole bent nothing tells the something what to do. It's a really bad concept. Should have called it bent something besides space. It's just kind of, that's almost oxymoronic. The thing we call nothing, the space that's in between the something bits, you know, and then to say it's bent. I mean, you should have called it something else. Yes, like counter space. Yes, it is. It's just such a. It really, we are down the spiraling toilet bowl blob of doom. Nobody can think straight. Yeah, it does seem that way. So yes, but that whole Einstein thing, being a plumber, I mean, just the lack of respect he had for science and knowledge and understanding, to even go there to say, oh, it's just too much of a burden being somebody who thinks. I'd rather be just some idiot who, you know, screws pipes together. Yeah, it's sort of disappointing when the icons are so, you know, they lack any passion at all, any. You know, and yeah, it's sad, tragic. Maybe he's just being metaphorical, though, so whatever. Maybe he's just having a bad day, complaining. Maybe he's just complaining. The burdens of being somebody who's supposed to know what he's talking about. Yeah, he didn't take any of that very seriously, did he? You know, didn't leave behind any tape recordings or anything. Yeah, they had a tape player back then, didn't they? Yes. It's another thing that's kind of weird is when the people who are on the edge of something, you know, and they're not even technologically literate. It's very strange. Yeah, but I don't know, it's really not you know, we're supposed to be doing something more interesting. 10-year anniversary conversation. Yeah, but there's nothing to say about that. It's sort of a, you know, painful and unpleasant subject, isn't it, for you? I mean, 10 years and you really, haven't done what you need to do. Well, who says you, right? We're not, the book isn't written yet, so the final chapter might get really interesting, or maybe the chapter after I'm dead will get really interesting. So you can't really just say, failure, failure yet. Oh, I can, because on the face of it, you're a failure, and it's just your speculation about some future, hope. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. I can see the point. I mean, I can't argue that I got nothing to show for it, so to speak, in terms of hard cash. But I do think there's a lot of promissory notes out there. Anyway, I don't think you have any of that. But anyway, let's just say you did. Okay, fine. So you're comfortable that you've done the best you can. Is that what you're saying? Well, I obviously did the best I could. Can is sort of a future thing. Yeah, I did the best I could, apparently. Deterministically and all that kind of crap. I somehow just didn't yin and yang exactly correctly, and therefore, don't have as much to show for my effort as I should. Well, that was a pretty good answer. Yeah, it seems that way. So maybe you can do better. Even though you keep saying it and not doing better, maybe you can. Yeah, it seems it's always an open door. Tomorrow is tomorrow. It ain't here yet, so you don't know what's going to happen. And but yes, it does look dismal. The future for the internet communication, it is getting difficult. Lots of problems with the mechanics of communicating to the human race. Well, I guess that's kind of obvious, right? The whole the way the standards change all the time. I mean, nobody could have gotten away with what Donald Trump's gotten away with, and yet he's gotten away with it. Why? Because everybody hates foreigners. and the liberals can't figure out that everybody just hates them, except for the foreigners, of course. The foreigners like foreigners, but everybody else hates their guts. And the liberals can't figure that out if they just shut the fuck up on the foreigner and the tranny thing. They don't. They don't mind trannies, but they just don't want them trannying in their face, kind of thing. It's like, yes, tranny in your tranny places, but don't be trannying in my face. And the liberals just don't get that everybody finds the foreigners and the trannies obnoxious. Yeah, this is that simple, right? Everybody can talk a bunch of bullshit, but it really just comes down to racism in a sense, and a kind of phobia of the different thing. And there's just nothing else to it. They're going to defend the principle because the alternative to them is worse. Now, you see the alternative being the billionaire running the show as insane because the biggest problem are the rich, not the foreigners or the trannies. The foreigners and the trannies aren't a big problem. The rich are the big problem. Yeah, so I see it exactly the opposite in terms of the bad trade-offs. You have to accept some compromise policy. So you say, well, which one's worth? People talking about open borders, even though they're not really serious, but they talk about it. Or some lunatic saying, let's put a billionaire in charge, a fake billionaire, a compulsive lying billionaire, always looking for a way to make more money for himself. Yeah, the thing is just so insane that these are our choices. Yeah, so it really is a dismal circumstance because even though Bernie Sanders had some sort of recognition that, having 1.01% of the people owning most of the assets in the country was really stupid, he was also stupid enough to think open borders made sense. Yeah, so it really just highlights the problem. So, yeah, but for most people, right, they'd rather be broke than live next to Mexicans, I guess, something like that. Yeah, so it's all kind of horribly sad, and that it comes down to this. So there's no rational policy driving anything. It's just the extremist positions, and whichever one is the most obnoxious to you is all the policy connected with that will end up now stuck onto that thing. So whatever the worst policy is, that policy wins your negative vote, and therefore everything associated with that party is now negative. Yeah, pretty much that's the way it works. So yeah, even the political system is just totally broken, and so it's time for you to start advocating for like direct democracies and stuff like that, because it seems, as much as that seems like chaos and stupid, you should just end up with a bunch of retarded, simplistic policy. At least it won't be driven by this, everything gets stuck to racism, or everything gets stuck to some other stupidism. Yeah, so it's sad but true that it's time to advocate for anything, but the system that exists, because clearly this everything attached to the worst policy motivating people is just never going to work. Correct. So, but anyway, you've done videos on all this stuff, and nobody paid any attention to those. But yes, democracy is easy to fix, and nobody wants to fix it, which is ironic. Again, just on the face of how bad things are, you would think everybody would be screaming for a better democracy, because it'd be clear that they have no choices, and these are terrible. This is a stupid thing to be deciding everything. The subject of immigration and the 1% owning everything. Yeah. That battle is the one, and so it's like having like Godzilla against King Kong, and it doesn't matter who wins, because one of those assholes will be walking around killing you. So there's no victory here. Yeah, either the billionaires run things, or we have immigrants. We're buried 50 feet deep in them, and who wants to live like that? Not me. Yeah, me either. I don't vote for that either. This whole notion that there's nothing but charming, poor huddled masses. That the poor huddled masses are the most charming, beautiful people in the world. It's a joke France played on us. In terms of, they obviously got rid of a lot of their poor huddled masses. Yeah, like they're really not the most magnificent, beautiful things on the planet Earth. They're really the dumbest, stupidest, smelliest. Lots of bad habits, drug habits. Huddled masses nowadays usually are huddled masses in cardboard boxes and stuff. It's because they're drug addicts and shit. Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's funny how people just totally don't get it. That failures, which they sort of by definition are, that's only a small percentage of the failures that aren't really failures. They're just disguised as a failure temporarily. Yeah, Snake Plisskenus types or something. It's probably a small percentage of the homeless or Snake Plisskenus types. So anyway, that's that was an unpleasant subject. I mean, just depressing, sad, because there's nothing. Because you can't communicate the simplest idea that this is what's wrong. The structure of the democracy is what's broken, and you need to separate the branches of government, and you need to do this, and no, nobody can get it. That's where all the corruption is. Yeah, it's like presidents being able to fire FBI directors and stuff. That shouldn't even be possible. It really looks bad. But anyway, they shouldn't be hiring them in the first place, right? I mean, it should be the people, the Congress or something should be doing that. If we actually had a representative Congress, of course, I wouldn't let the Congress that currently exists do it, because that's not representative. So again, the whole negative thing. A bunch of people who steal the votes from all the people who didn't vote for them, and are proud to do it. That's the funny part. They're proud to say, I represent the district of, and half the people in the district said, fuck you, cunt! And, they're pretending like, oh yeah, they love me. No, they hate your fucking guts. I mean, it's just so dismal. And nobody aspires for anything better. Nobody fights for it. Nobody says anything about it, except you, Inmendham. True. I mean, and I don't get, it doesn't get you anywhere though, because it's too complex a conversation, I guess. People are just so fucking stupid, and so got their head so far up the unicorn's ass they can't they can't tell, and all they hear is muffled sounds, you know, through the organs of the unicorn. They really can't hear or see anything. Yeah, I imagine it's, yeah, there's, you know, the narrative is, you know, lots of glitter in the unicorn's ass, lots of sparkly things, but nothing really, no real images. Yeah, well, I don't really want to imagine that, but anyway, okay. I'll grant you that. I'll concede the point. I won't argue it. You won't argue something? Yeah, I thought you would argue anything and everything. No, that's just urban legend or something. I don't argue everything. Or with everyone. Well, you shouldn't have added that part, because I think you do argue with everyone. I don't think there's anybody you've ever agreed with. Yeah, except for you. Yeah, that's right. We agree with each other. It does make things a lot nicer living together. You know, we are able to agree with each other on most subjects and get along. Yes, too bad we're both terrified and neurotic. Oh, that's true. It does kind of ruin the fun. And, yeah, Lyme disease. Yes, this couldn't be much of a video. Because, you know, because, yeah, you're tired and you're fed up and you're being killed by a parasite. Well, two kinds of parasites, actually. The microbe inside the parasite. Yes, so it's the parasite inside the parasite that's killing me. Yes, and why? Because people can't do anything about anything. There's a problem, they can't fix it. You know, too many deer, they crash into cars, they do $1 billion worth of crop damage, they ruin the aesthetics of the garden state. You can't grow a garden in the garden state, you know, unless you have like electric fences and, you know, guns and shit. And, you know, and they still don't do it. And then it gives you diseases that kill you, and they still don't do anything about it. Yeah, they still say, oh, well, firemen and police officers need something to practice on. You know, they need something to shoot so they can practice shooting stuff and killing it. And, you know, it's fun for them. They enjoy it. So we have to let them take care of the problem. And they really don't want to fix the problem because they like to sit in lounge chairs and shoot the deer. They don't want to have to go out and look for deer. They want to be able to just sit in the chair and shoot the deer. Like a video game. Yeah. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, it's just, oh yeah, we'll let the assholes who have an interest in not fixing the problem fix the problem. Just amazing politics. Amazingly stupid. Just remember to keep saying that. Amazingly stupid. Fucktarded. Yeah, well that's really all it is. It's just fucktard all the way down. Maybe that's the good title for the video. Yeah. You have to put 10 years somewhere in there, though. 10 years of fucktard all the way down. Well, maybe something like that. Well, you think about it. No, I think you should think about it because, you know, I'm tired and I'm sick and, you know, I don't really want the job. Yeah, well, you really got so many things to do. You got all these physics experiments to do. You got to write a book. You got to do some brilliant video of some kind. Yeah, you kept promising you would make the greatest video ever, and you never have done it. So many things you, you know, you're kind of behind. Yes, but at least I'm trying. So, isn't that worth something? I'm trying, sort of. I mean, every day I think about doing better. Well, that should be worth something, but again, it's show me the money, you know? That's the world we live in. Show me the money, fucker. Yeah, I know. Talk is cheap and all that shit and blah, 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 blah. So, I have to do better. So, anyway, let's just, let's get out of here. You know, go take a nap. We're tired. And, you know, there really isn't anything to say, right? It's okay. It's 10 years. Hasn't really been much fun. It's just been a lot of horror and terror and, you know, awful people to deal with, and disappointments and backstabbing, and just hasn't been any fun at all. True, 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 and not nearly as productive as you thought it would be. I mean, you spent your life, you know, trying to influence people, you know, sending out newsletters and forums and all kinds of different ways of trying to, you know, communicate and persuade, and you thought this thing should be a medium that's just, yeah, it's ripe for the purpose. And no, it's not. It's just talking grasshopper videos and shit. Well, kittens and fail videos, I think, mostly. And of course, phantasmagorical silly shit does get lots of views. Cartoons, yeah, you know, conspiracy theory, you know. Yes, the truth or nuts. The flat earthers have done very well on YouTube, and the whatever it is, the abolished government types. Yeah, this just sucks. So anyway, so yeah, keep trying. That's what I'll do. That'll be my motto. Endeavor to persevere. Regardless of anything else, that's all you can do, is you can endeavor to persevere. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, it's probably the thing to do. It's just endeavor to persevere. Yeah, that's right. I'll be, you know, go down as Inmendham. Don't go down as something else. True enough. I'll fail as me, rather than failing as something I was trying to contrive and be. Yes, seems the appropriate thing to do. So anyway, that's enough. Let's just get out of here. Okay, so that's it. It's a fascinating interview from certain points of view. I mean, in relativistic space somewhere, it was probably incredibly interesting, because the time dimension warping of the space, whatever thingy, the nothing bent in just the right way to make all of it so fucking charming and brilliant. But maybe where you are, the space you're in, maybe it's not bent right, and therefore it seemed kind of just like a waste of time. So, yeah, too bad. Can't really do nothing about that, because, yeah, you can't find the controls for the bent nothing. You know, the nothing knobs on the bent nothing. Yeah, can't do much to tweak them for you. So there's just little hope of controlling how things appear. Now, they might appear all fucking wrong and blah, 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 but now everything on this end is running just right. And if you don't think so, it's just because you're in the wrong space. And yeah, you need to time dilate and such, some kind of manner. But anyway, not my problem. Your problems are not my problem. Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, until the next time, and yeah, so happy 10 years. Ah. Screen just auto-adjusted. I wish, see, that's what everybody needs, is an auto-adjust button. Ah, everything looks crazy and stupid. Just hit the auto-adjust button. That would be really great. Oh, I was just time dilated. Oh, okay, now everything's okay now. I wish it was that simple.